All right, what's new? What's new? Back with some more picks today. Yesterday went well. We only picked one game yesterday. It was the Bulls game, and they came through for us. They took care of business, and they kept their playoff hopes alive. So good for them. And then there's a lot of games yesterday I was thinking about picking, but I just ended up staying away from. One of them being the Knicks game. I knew that the game versus Spurs would be a tough game, so I wasn't too sure honestly we would win, and I was waiting to see if who out of Burks, Quickly, and Rose, because we had like four guys injured that are all questionable. So I was waiting to see who would play out of them, but by the time it was announced, it was too late to make a video. Um, and then I was also thinking about picking the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets, but I was like, Michael Porter Jr. ended up sitting out. I was like, oh man, the Timberwolves are plus three at home versus the Nuggets. Oh my god, I gotta take the Timberwolves. But I ended up staying away. I really like. I was just unsure. Like I was like, oh man, the Timberwolves. I love to pick them, and especially in a good spot like this. But I just knew that Jokic would have a really good. It's hard for me to pick against the Nuggets, man. It's hard for me to pick against Jokic because I know how good he is. And yeah, man, Jokic came through with a big, 31-point game, and they ended up winning by 11. So we stayed away from that. We dodged a lot of bullets yesterday, man. There's a lot of games I was not sure of, and if I would have went towards my leaning, what I was thinking, I would have lost. Like I was leaning 76ers yesterday, and they lost. I was leaning Timberwolves yesterday, they lost. I was leaning Trailblazers yesterday, and they actually ended up they would have actually covered for me, but they lost as well. But I was gonna pick them, plus four, and then um, you know the 76ers. As a Knicks fan, I had vested interest in that game. You know what I'm saying? Because I really wanted them to win that way. The Knicks can get that fourth seed, and they did not show up. They laid an egg, and that's not the first time the Philadelphia team has laid an egg when it comes to helping out a New York team. If you know, you know. But I'm going to be covering the 76ers again today. And yesterday, was a pretty big game for them. I thought they would have, came to play, a little bit more than what they did. You had Joel Embiid only having 8 points in that game. I mean, Joel Embiid's had an MVP caliber season, and he's dropping eight. So that's not great, but I think it helps with this spot here. Today they're playing the Magic. So in this one, we got the Orlando Magic going to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. 76ers are obviously on a back-to-back. They played in Miami last night, and now they're going back up to Philly. So, but yeah, yesterday the Philadelphia 76ers had the ability to clinch the conference. So they had the ability to get the number one seed in the conference with a win, but they did not. And, it wasn't crucial that they won that game because look at their remaining schedule. You know what I'm saying? They got two games versus the Magic. They're gonna win. All they need is one win to clinch it, and yeah, they're gonna win one game against the Magic. I guarantee. Anything could happen, obviously, but they got two of their games remaining versus the Magic. I think they can manage to win one. And I think today is the game that they're gonna try the hardest in. So with that being said, I gotta capitalize on it. The spread is currently minus 13.5. What do you expect? You know what I'm saying? You have the best team in the Eastern Conference all year going against one of the worst teams. They're 14th in the East. So yeah, 13.5 spread, quite big, but what can you expect? Now let's go through the injuries, and this is where, as always with these teams that are at the bottom of the league, this is where it becomes a no-brainer to pick against them. Um, so you got Terrence Ross out, James Ennis out, Otto Porter out, Michael Carter Williams out, Jonathan Isaac out for the year, Marco Fultz out for the year, and then Bamba, he's game time decision. Let's see what he is. It says he was out yesterday with illness, so we'll see if he plays today. Or no, yeah, who knows? The Magic are coming off a back-to-back as well. They played in Atlanta last night, so they're gonna have to travel to Philadelphia today. So both teams are on back-to-backs and they're both traveling. So definitely something to keep in mind. But I gotta go with the 76ers here. I think that this is the game they're going to try the hardest in. I expect, Embiid and, Ben Simmons and, Tobias Harris to all be playing. And I expect them to win this game handedly and then rest rest their starters, rest everybody versus the second game versus the Magic. Because at that point, once they've already clinched the conference, there's really no the game essentially becomes meaningless for both teams. So I don't expect them to be playing the starters in the next game. But this is the game I think they should want to take it home. Just get it over with. So the next game versus the Magic isn't crucial at all, and you can rest your guys. I expect them to come out here and I'm not saying they're going to be coming out here going full tilt. You know what I'm saying, with the playoffs so close away. But with the opportunity to clinch the conference versus one of the worst teams in the league with all these injuries, I got to take the 76ers here. I don't, the spread, of course, is going to be big, but, what do you expect? I'm going to buy a point, make it minus 12.5, hoping that the 76ers can take care of business, even though they didn't take care of business for me last night. But I'm going to take advantage of them here. It should come out to play. It should come out and clinch that conference. And Embiid, he got to be pissed after that, man. You only put up 8 points. That's embarrassing, man. Come out here and drop 40 on the Magic, man. That's what I think you got to do, bro. That's just me. But yeah, man, 76ers minus 12.5. We'll see what happens.